Any change in availability from last week?
Ashley Westwood's not available. Yeah, Westy's not available in junior, so he's still out with a troublesome Achilles injury at the moment. He's had an injection in it, and hopefully that can speed the process up.
You went on the radio on Wednesday, and I guess let it known that Karol Swiderski is in your plans. How much can you expound on in terms of what you're expecting from Karol?
Well, he's in our plans because he becomes our player again. You know, he went out on loan. You know, they decided not to take him, and he will happily welcome him back. He'll be back in the building. I think the 8th we start training again after the Miami game, and I think he's available to start or to be involved for the Austin game. So he can have a good couple of weeks training with us, and we can have a good look and see where he's at, and he could have a good look at us as well.
Do you feel like, again, you probably don't have foresight on this, but do you feel like he'd be able to fit right in right away, or do you feel like it'd be a while?
I don't think it'd take too long, to be honest. He's been playing in the Euros, so he's had to stay fit and remain fit for that. You know, he knows the club, he knows everything about it. He's trained with me for a few weeks when I first came in as well, so he knows me as well. So yeah, I shouldn't think it would be too hard for him to fit in straight away.
From a locker room perspective, do you think he'd be able to assimilate back in, having obviously been with the team as long as he had?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, he decided he wanted to go and pursue Europe, and we were happy for him to go and do that. You know, it's not happened at the moment for him to join anyone, so he's coming back. And as I say, we want good players at the club. I believe he's a good player. You know, as long as he comes back and his attitude and application are top like it was before he left, then not a problem.
You said that obviously you want to try and add to the attack of the offense. How does his potential inclusion for the rest of the year alter your desire for what you'd want? Would you still want a 9? Would you want a 10? How does that alter things?
No, it doesn't alter things, because the plan had always been that there was a possibility that, you know, Karol would come back. So we were always planning around that, and you know, you have to have 2 scenarios in case, you know, Verona may have taken him, or he may have came back. So we had to plan for both them situations. So we have done.
In terms of Westwood not playing this weekend, have you given thought as to who takes that captain's armband and how that will work, and who replaces his leadership on the field?
Yeah, I think I've said before, I've got a leadership group anyway within the dressing room, and that started early. I think there's a few candidates who can have the armband, but you know, I won't be announcing that until Saturday to the players. And but there's a few, and you know, it's their turn now to take some of that responsibility that, you know, Ashley has worn so well.
I can't remember, forgive me, whether it was DC or one of the other games where there was a lot of switching with the wingers between Abada and Vargas from a side aspect. We've seen less of that in subsequent contests. Is that something that came from you to keep them on the same side, or has it just become something where they've decided to kind of build a relationship with each fullback? Yeah, no,
I like to keep them as they are at the moment. I think Vargas at the moment is better coming off the left onto his right, and Liel is more of a direct runner, so he's decent. He's good coming off being on the right hand side. But there'll be some games where, you know, they might play a right-footed left back, and you know, I decide it might be better then to Vargas to go on one side and Liel the other. So, you know, sometimes it'll be horses for courses, but the majority of the time, I think, you know, there's a really good relationship between Nathan Byrne and Liel Abada at the moment. You know, and likewise the other side with Yere and Kerwin.
What did Ben show you from the start on Saturday?
He showed me he handles the ball really well. He takes it on the half turn in the tight areas, and he can play 1 and 2 touch in them areas as well. You know, I felt he needed to be a bit more positive on the ball in the first half, and I told him that at half time, and I thought he adjusted his game slightly in the second half, and yeah, he was always going to tire. You know, probably should have got him off just before he tired and got his yellow card, but no, it was a good first start for him.
Cool. Carol?
In the scenario where Swiderski stays and you have one DP spot open, Would you want to use that DP for another 9 or more like an attacking midfielder?
Yeah, no, I think we need a 9 at the club. I want a natural goal scorer who's going to go and compete with others.
Do you see Carroll as a hybrid kind of between?
Yeah, I think Carroll can play 9, 10, and he can play on the side as well.
Okay. Yeah, and have you spoken with him yet, or do you want to see where his head and heart are when you sit down face to face with him when he gets here?
No, I will speak to him. I haven't spoken to him yet. It'll be a little bit raw, I think, for him going out of the Euros at the moment. So I'll let that die down a little bit and then get in touch with him. But I know we've been in touch with him through third parties in terms of sorting out the timing for when he comes back. It's only right that we give him a bit of time off now as well to have a bit of a break, because his season's pretty much gone European season. So he'll get a couple of weeks off before he comes in with us.
Okay. From what I understand, Westy gave Nathan the armband after the game the other day. Does he get more votes in the coach's mind, or you got to just play that out?
Well, no, I'll tell Westy what his role is, and that's not handing the armband out. That's my job.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries.
Nick.
Just in terms of, I know you like to adjust the 3 in the midfield and the amount of holders depending on the opponent. Does Ashley's absence have any impact on that, or no?
No, not really, because the players now know the structure, the system that we want to play, whether that's going to be a flat 3, a 2 and a 1, or a 1 and a 2. They know the roles and the responsibilities, so because Ashley's out, it doesn't change too much.
Nice. And then just with him being out, you talked about how you believe they can replace his leadership. Is there anything tactically or technically you're just looking for whoever replaces him to
I think tactically what he's given us, he understands the game and he reads the game really well with his experience. So we're looking at players to come and do that. But you've got Bronico, who's 29 I think now, and he's played in this league for a long time. He's got a lot of experience. Dion is a little bit younger. Unfortunately Junior's out, who could have given us that experience as well. But we've got some really good players who've been playing there.
And then just to go back to Carroll, just to double check, is there still a chance he moves on in the summer transfer window, or is he in your plans for the rest of the season?
Who's that, sorry?
Carroll, sorry.
Is
Sadowski.
At the moment he comes back and he works with us, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So no problem.
Will Westy travel to Houston, or is he staying behind?
He's staying behind. Yeah, he'll do a little bit of work on Saturday morning, and then he can have Sunday off like the rest of the guys. Yeah.
Cool. Jason, anything for you?
Well, just at this point, as you go on the road to Houston, how do you like the mindset of this team? Because obviously you're more than halfway through the season. It's not so much game plan for the opponent, but like your team executing the game plan week to week. So are you happy with where they are at this stage of the season, doing what you're asking them to do week in, week out?
Yeah, I'm happy where they are. There's still a lot more to come. As I keep saying, there's always lots to improve on. I didn't like the first 20 minutes of the game last week. I felt that we sat off the opposition too much, even though they were the home team, and it became a bit of a nothing 20 minutes for us. We've got to be better than that, so I'll be pushing to make sure that our standards are there right from the start of the game. We've had a look at the opposition already, and they've got, they went to DC and scored 4. They've got a hat-trick, so they've certainly got a lot of points that we've got to nullify. But we spotted some weaknesses that we think we can get the best out of ourselves as well.
Cool. Anyone else in the room? All right, let's go to the Zoom. I've got Sam Spencer. Anyone else in the Zoom, just raise your hand. We'll come around to you. So, Sam, go ahead. Nope.
Sorry, I was just trying to prevent a double recording there.
Cool. Go ahead, Sam.
How are you doing today, Coach?
Sorry, he was just presenting a double recording there. Sorry, that was just my joke. Sorry. You got it.
So, Coach, first off, I wanted to know if you could just talk a little about Nathan's leadership on the team.
Nathan's an experienced player. My teams have played against Nathan quite a few times before. An accomplished defender, right back, Wigan, Wolverhampton, Derby, Swindon, amongst other teams. He understands the game. He's got real respect in the dressing room as well from the players. So he's He's one of them players that I think the players look up to, and he probably doesn't even realise that they do, because he's that sort of character, and very, very professional, and a coach's dream, to be honest.
Good to hear. So what are you looking at specifically when it comes to the opponent this weekend? I think we've talked a lot about everything else surrounding the club, but you have an opponent to play.
Yeah, we're playing against Houston. As I say, they're quite aggressive on the press. They press in a 4-4-2 shape from what we've seen so far. So we've got to make sure that we don't give the ball away cheaply, certainly in our own half, because they've caused the opposition to turn the ball over quite a bit in their own half and create chances and score goals from that. So that's something that we've been working on, how we can shift our shape and create space for other people. So that's going to be one of the big things. And then, how can we play and get in behind their defence and create overloads either on the side or in the middle of the pitch.
And we haven't had a chance to speak since this past weekend when Charlotte FC's U17s made the final of the MLS Next tournament. Were you able to watch the game, and do you have any comments on the amazing performance from our kids?
No, I was trying to watch the game, but I was one of the few people who could find out how to watch the game. I was told it was on Apple, and I was searching all through Apple and the MLS and couldn't find it. Maybe my navigating skills aren't what they should be, but I was speaking to Tommy Wilson. Obviously went to the game, so I was keeping in touch with him. But we're all proud of what they did. A U17 team of a club that's only 2.5 years old to get to the final of any competition is a massive achievement, and we're very proud of them all.
Obviously, we've seen Nympha make the first team. Or is there anybody else in the academy or Crown Legacy that you're taking a good look at right now?
There's a lot of players within the legacy and the academy that will be looking to move up. I mean, the academy season comes to a bit of an end now, and then they'll be getting ready to start again for the following year. I think it ends with the school year. And the legacy, that will continue, and they've got another game Sunday, so we'll be watching them against Chicago. And I was really pleased for Kev in his first game. Took a 5-0 lead at half time. He should have just packed in then and said, "That's it, I'm done." But we've got some really good young players, and we can see that the way they've come through to the first team already.
And then finally, though he won't be traveling to Houston, Westy did have a big week releasing his own beer. Have you tried Ashley Westwood's beer yet?
No, he's not brought any in and said Gaffer can have the weekend off. So he's missed a trick there, to be fair. So I think he's gone for a Pilsner, he said. He doesn't like all these flavoured IPAs. So we'll have a little taste and see what it was like. Bram Bronico gave me a couple of his for my birthday, and I gave him one of them back. But no, it's good that the fans and are recognising the players, and the players are pitching in as well. I'm sure there'll be an Adjumang brew out there soon.
Well, and we can only hope for a Dino Pino.
Yeah, a Dino Pino, that would be very nice.
Thank you, Coach. Best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks. Will, want to follow up?
You mentioned legacy. Can that be also used as a place to kind of, I know with you having a pretty hefty goalkeeper room right now, can that be a place where you can kind of get some guys some minutes, whether it's Bingham, whether it's Marks? I know Chituro had some minutes earlier this year as well.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll be looking to get some minutes for players on Sunday in the game. I've spoken to Kev already, and we think it's, we're coming to that stage now where we play Miami, then we don't have a game for 10 days, so there'll be a bit of a rest after that. And I think it's important that a few of our players get some minutes in the game on Sunday.
Do you see or foresee a scenario where Swiderski comes, but there's still talks, and you kind of have to keep him in training and not necessarily play him? Is that something that could still potentially? No. If Carroll, when Carroll comes back, and after I think the 16th, is it the
18th?
The 18th when it opens, he's available to play for us, and whether there's talks still going on, that's down to his representatives and not me. I'll just see him as a player for our first team, and if I see him better than what we've got, then he'll be in.
Cool. Everyone good? All right, wrap up there.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.